Who is Karina Michel beyond all the titles that I have just mentioned?
I guess since a young age, I've always loved creativity.
Which role feels most natural to you?
I guess one that we didn't talk about is a mom.
Somewhere meaningful conversations has done to me. Has that happened with you?
It has. You're right. That's a good connection. I like that. No one's ever asked me that, but
I still remember there was this one guy on this podcast. His name was Larry Wilson. He said, "No one in this entire world has ever died of embarrassment." What does leadership mean to you today?
leadership to me is about bringing out the best in other people.
How storytelling actually builds a personal brand, and why is it so important?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important because
One thing people fake in communication.
I would say happiness
That's deep.
and getting mixed up in politics is never a good idea, no matter where it is. I don't think.
Coming to the part, and I think I forgot to tell that, I forgot to say that you are also a conversation coach or communication coach as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you fall in love with conversations through your podcasting and through your filmmaking as well, I feel. So,
Mm-hmm.
what really made you fall in love with real, meaningful conversations?
I would say, and this is strange, but being an actor for so long, you go by the script, right? You're given a script, you read the script, your actor reads the script, you know what's going to happen, and
Of course.
so yeah. And then a lot of times when you do, I don't know, branding or TV, it's all set up to be viewed in a certain way, right? It's what the customer, the consumer wants to see.
Hmm.
And my take on it is that you really want to be real and that's how you're going to connect. So you're, being authentic going into these conversations and being real and saying, hey, I see it this way, or just your honesty coming through is a way to connect rather than clash. And I think that people, can really grow that way if they just open their minds up and look at it in a different light, maybe.
That's beautifully said. I have just one follow-up question to that because it has worked for me. I don't know if it has worked for you, but I'm still going to ask it. Okay, because once you fall in meaningful conversations, you fall in love with meaningful conversations, it also helps you in your acting career as well. Okay, that's what I feel because it has helped me a lot because now I don't feel like I'm playing a character, but I feel that I'm the character in the movie as well. Okay,
Sure.
and that's what somewhere meaningful conversations has done to me. Has that
Okay.
happened with you?
It has. You're right. That's a good connection. I like that. No one's ever asked me that. But yeah, I mean it's a totally different I guess preparation. It's a different hat. Like you're like, okay, this is my
Of
acting hat.
course.
I'm gonna do this today. But yeah, I think for acting, in order to make it believable, you have to connect with the dialogue, right?
Hmm.
So you have to find what it means to you as a person and then kind of merge that with the character in a way. I think that's kind of how I do it usually. Um, but yeah, I've been in scenes where if you're really feeling what the other person is saying and you feel like this is really real for that character, it really ups the performance for sure. And you feel like it's a real thing. If you don't collect with if the writing's not good, it's not going to be good. Let's be honest. And
I
sometimes
get
that's
that.
it happens, so yeah, I think that's just where good writers. I don't write screenplays. I write, for like publications and stuff here and there, but there's some really gifted screenwriters and great writers out there, and you read it and you're just like, wow, you really connect with it. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely helpful.
Wonderful. That's beautifully said. Now, coming to the part, okay, and this is something which I feel is really important for the audience as well. And of course, it's personal to you, but I'm still going to ask it, and you can tell me no, of course. Has there
Okay.
been a moment, okay, where
Mhm.
you realized, okay, that you know what, this surface level conversation or surface level communication, it's not going to work for me? and I have to connect deeper with the person if I'm getting into the conversation. So, was there a moment like it, or you just realized it through time?
I think I just always kind of felt that way, but I feel like it's getting more and more like that, even in my personal life too. If we had a dinner here last night, and there were people that I hadn't met before, and I love connecting with new people. I'm not the type of person that's going to sit there and say, oh, how's the weather or something. I want to, like, I don't know. I always hope to connect over something that we have in common, or just interesting stories. People have such great stories. And sometimes I think we don't reach out enough to connect with the person. And if we did, I think we'd be surprised, because we have a lot more in common, with everyone than we think.
That's particularly well said, because I do have a lot of stories where I connected with a stranger. It was like he was a cab driver literally, and I was coming home, and he I just asked a few questions because I really wanted to know about that guy, and he really opened up. And at the end, he gave me his phone number and said that whenever you come to Prayagraj, which is one of the city in India. Okay, so whenever next time you come to Prayagraj, you just give me a call. You stay at my place, and I'll
What?
make sure that you roam around the city, every corner. You will be exploring that, and we will make sure that you explore each and every corner. I'm like, that's great, right?
That's amazing. Wow, I've never had anyone say that. But yeah, connecting, I've had a few of those, connecting with the cab driver, like the Uber driver,
Yeah,
because I mean, you talk and things, and they're like, whoa, we have this in common. And it's amazing sometimes.
yeah.
Wow, that's
That's
cool though. You should take him
thank
up on
you.
that.
Of course, I will someday for sure.
Yeah.
Well, coming to the part where, I really want to know this: what makes a conversation memorable for you, particularly, instead
Hmm.
of forgettable? Because most of the times we see that, some of the people we don't normally like talking to them, because you know just after 4 or 5 sentences the communication is just over. Okay, because we
Hmm.
see that there is no further connection. Okay, like if I ask how are you and he say I'm good, how are you doing, I'm good, and then there is a pause, there is a silence, like nothing
Yeah.
going on, right? So according to you, and for you particularly, what makes the conversation more memorable for you? And if any tips that you would like to give to the audience, that what they should do to make themselves memorable in the conversation.
Yeah, okay, I have a good one for this. So I feel like sometimes you're thinking something in your mind and you want to say it, but you don't. For some reason, you're like, oh, I shouldn't say that, or I shouldn't ask them that, or. I think you should. I think you should, yeah, speak up and say what you want to say. So this is a really weird story, but last week I was in a parking lot here, and one of our cars, and it's kind of a newer, I won't say which model it is, but it's an interesting car, right? It's a newer car. So I see a big crowd of people. There's probably like 12 of them kind of coming up past it. And I thought, okay, that I saw them looking at the car. And then I thought they were going to keep going. I think I was doing some work in the car or something before I was getting out. But anyway, I looked up, and this lady was banging on my window. She's knocking on the window, and I'm just like, what's going on? It's kind of weird. So she's knocking, and so I opened the window, and she was very nice, and she said, "Hi." She's like, "We're from England, which is where I'm originally from. We've never
Mhm.
seen this car before. Do you mind if we take a picture? My grandson wants to see it." And she's asking me all kinds of questions, and I was like, "Sure, no problem. Go ahead." I was showing them everything. And then in my mind, I don't know what it was, my intuition or what was going on, but it kind of freaked me out. Like, I kept thinking, where is she from? Where is she from? Because I could hear her accent, and it sounded similar to where I was from. So, I kept asking her, and she said, "Oh, we're from, I think she said like Essex or something." And I said, "Okay, well, but where?" So I kept, and it was like three different questions. Where are you from? What place? Because it was all very general.
Uh,
Anyway, long story short, she is from the same small village that my mom grew up in. My dad lived in for a little bit. My grandmother, I mean, it was just like, and like a couple of miles from where all my family lives now. And I'm thinking, what are the odds of this person? Just the synchronicity of it was just so random. But then we were just chatting, and they were very nice people. But I tell you what, I won't forget that conversation because that's never happened to me before. I mean, this is a very small place in England, and here she is in the United States, in Florida. She just got here. No one has ever been to the US before. So those type of conversations, really stick out because she was actually saying, it was all of her family, and I think it was her sister was saying, "See, I told you she should go knock on the window," because she didn't want to do it, I
Ah,
guess. So yeah, I mean, if you want to go talk to someone, maybe you should reach out because you don't know
yeah,
what you're going to find out, right?
and by not talking also, it's they are already not talking to you, so you better try out, and maybe the conversation comes out very beautifully. I mean,
Yeah.
I still remember there was this one guy on this podcast. His name was Larry Wilson, and he said this beautiful sentence, beautiful quote, and he said, "No one in this entire world has ever died of embarrassment," and that quote has become my life's goal, actually. Okay, like it is a motto of mine now, because and it was based on the topic, like I was really shy, I had severe social anxiety, and I never used to talk with someone because I was like really afraid. What if they embarrass me, they are embarrassed by me, or what if they would just say you, not even in my dreams, okay, or
Wow.
something like that.
Yeah, and now you
And
have a podcast. That's just mind blowing. How cool is that? I
okay,
love it.
so
All ends of the spectrum.
exactly. So yeah, that's pretty well said, and I'm sure all the audience, I'm sure that you're getting a great value from this. And if you are, make sure to share this one. And in the meantime, you can subscribe to this podcast and stay here. We are continuing the conversation.